Hi, my name is Richard Fingers, and I'm with the BAAC Be Aware and Care organization. BAAC actively works to educate the public on sensitive material, or material that is often perceived as offensive and triggers negative emotional responses. Our leading team of psychological experts has done extensive studies on the effects of being triggered and has found that a triggering comment can negatively impact one's well-being for hours or even days after the incident occurred. It is of the utmost importance that we work to eliminate these negative and harmful interactions. Today, we tackle a topic that is quite unusual surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. Contraction of COVID-19 has been linked to a loss of sense of smell, also known as anosmia, anosmia in many cases. A loss of sense of taste is also common. On top of not being able to experience simple pleasures such as smelling fresh air or tasting cookies, individuals afflicted with anosmia are frequently encountered with negative and harmful interactions. Now, we are going to look at a few common examples of triggering interactions for those with anosmia. As they play, I encourage you to think for yourself about why these interactions are offensive, and we'll go over them together afterwards.
Smells incredible. Wow, that's good. Man, you could really use a shower, Dylan. God damn it. Dylan, there's a gas leak. Come on, we gotta go.
You are so goddamn insensitive.
Turn the fan on, Dylan, and shut the door.
So now, we are going to go over each of those incidents individually to see why they were offensive, or, more specifically, anosmiophobic. Let us know in the comments if you guessed correctly, or, if you were wrong, tell us why. In this incident, Brian was commenting on a smell coming from the oven. It is not within Dylan's control to smell the food in the oven, which frustrates him and triggers an emotional response. Brian should have been more aware of his audience. Incident 2 is very similar to Incident 1, except here Brian comments on taste instead of smell. This just serves to remind Dylan that he can't taste anything, and again, triggers an emotional reaction. In this case, Dylan was working up a sweat and was probably very smelly to those that are fortunate enough to have their sense of smell. Brian's insensitive comment was clearly upsetting to Dylan. Brian should have just walked by and endured the smell. Here, Brian was able to detect the gas leak much faster than Dylan because he has retained his sense of smell. Brian should have just waited until Dylan heard the smoke alarm so that Dylan could have felt as if he were utilizing his senses as well. Finally, in Incident 5, Dylan was defecating with the door open and no fan on because he is unable to smell his own bowel movements. This type of behavior is normal for those afflicted with anosmia and must be treated delicately. Brian's insensitive comment and slamming of the door, however, were anything but delicate and can only serve to trigger a negative emotional reaction. Anosmia won't go away anytime soon, and neither will this pandemic. But with videos like this one and a little bit of awareness, we can work to eliminate negative emotions from the world, because that is the only true way for us to grow. Remember to be respectful to the people in your life, Recognize that they may have pre-existing conditions and that those conditions have triggers which you should avoid. And, as always, be aware and care.